Yes.
So, take an example. A student who is studying in a class has been given a question to be solved, and now he don't know his basic concepts. Will he be able to solve that problem? Now, you want to build a big building, but for that you don't have a strong foundation. Will you be able to build such a big building and that will last for a long time? The answer is possibly no. So, these are the small things in our life which we cannot build by basic without having a strong basis. In the same way, sustainable development can never happen without proper water management, because water management is the basic of sustainable development. Current status of water on earth. Have you ever imagined what is water? Water. In everyone's language, in everyone's thinking, it has different forms. For example, in scientific language, it is H2O. It's simply a compound formed by two elements in the ratio 2:1. And in literary language, it's the soul of the earth. According to some people, it's their mother as they worship water. So different people have different thinkings about what is water. Have you ever thought such a vital resource without whom we cannot even live for a day, how it came on the earth? So there are two theories behind it. The oldest theory is asteroid theory, which tells us that water has come into the surface of the earth by the collision of asteroid. And now a research led by AZU University, and the leader of that research was Peter Daszak, who told that water's origin is not completely from asteroid theory. Water has been originated from Earth, from solar nebula. According to this theory, in almost 100 molecules of water, 2 or 3 molecules of water will be from solar nebula. And the water which is found in ocean is related to the ocean found in asteroids, and the water found in the deep core and mantle, in between the layer of core and mantle, is from solar nebula. As we can see in this picture, asteroids and solar nebula. Now, water precise at global level. So, as we know that from time immemorial, conflicts on water are happening. At village level, two women fight, two children fight, everyone fights for water. Between states, as we can see that Punjab and Haryana, two states got separated in 1966. From that time till now, they have been fighting for the share of the river Bias, Ravi and Satluj. Until now, that problem has not been solved. And now a recent problem, Bhima Nadi flows from Pune to Solapur. And Pune, due to industrialization, due to globalization, it's developing a lot of waste. Out of 100% of waste developed by Pune, 66% is getting treated and 34% is left as it is, due to which the people who are living near the banks of Bhima Nadi in Solapur are suffering. They are not actually doing something in that, but they are suffering due to others' problems. So, water is a problem and water crisis is a problem which is interlinked. And for solving that problem, we all have to work hard. If one is working hard and one is not working hard, then you will never be able to solve it. You need to solve this problem at local level. Between different countries, as we can see, there are conflicts regarding river Nile between Egypt and Ethiopia, regarding river Brahmaputra between India and Bangladesh, regarding river Ganga between India and China. Why they are fighting for water? It's available in 75% of earth is covered with water. Then why don't think about it? The reason to think behind is that not all the water is available for drinking, and here we are not talking about only drinking water. We need water for other reasons as well. Can you live for 10 days without bathing? Can you live without water? Can you live without water? Because you need water for cooking, for bathing, for doing each and every household work also. So we are not talking about drinking water. We are talking about water which is needed, which is useful and which is needed to us in each and every sphere of life.
Agriculture,
industry. These are the examples in where water is needed. So never confuse yourself that we are talking only about drinking water. We are talking about all form of water. The water available in the glaciers, the water available in mountains and all. As we can see in this picture, students or children, they are not students. Why? Because they are not going to school, they are wasting their time over there, and due to this India's economy is coming to is decreasing because they are not able to give their precious time to study because they need water to live, and living is the main perspective of anyone's life. Now, who is responsible for this conflicts and depletion of water? The people who is totally responsible behind this is human beings. Why? Let's see. Deforestation. People cut down trees for their benefit. Do people cut down trees for their benefit? They need trees for various purposes. They want to live a leisurable life, due to which they develop technology and they use it for their benefit. Water is needed to plants and animals as well. But do plants and animals make any harm to the nation? No. It's the human being who are doing all these activities and who are depleting water. Government also plays a significant role in controlling all this, because with the laws made by government we can control the management of water. So in this, government also plays a significant role because they can make changes. They are the institutes which are elected by us. So here again we are responsible, and we should select some leaders, or we should select good leaders who will make laws on water as well, who will see all environment consequences as well. Now, impact of water crisis. As we can see that water crisis is very big problem and its impacts are also very large. In the villages, nowadays in cities it's not much there, but in villages, women or girls almost they spend their 4 to 5 hours carrying water. And in Asia and Africa, this rate is each day they travel 6 kilometers. Just think how much their precious time they are wasting over there. So there are many impacts of water crisis. Now, as we are talking about globalization, we want to become globalized. What is globalization? Interconnection between two countries, two nations to share goods and all. But due to, as we have seen earlier, that due to water there are problems, there are conflicts between states, countries, villages. Then how you can think about globalization? First you have to solve all these problems for making our country or our world globalized. So water, it seems like it's not big problem, but it's the most biggest problem present in the earth. Famines, droughts, there are thousands, millions of Indians as well as in whole world many people suffer from droughts, famines, and these problems arise due to the scarcity of water. As we can see in this picture, this woman have to do so much hard work to carry water, and the land also it's very much dry. Now types and techniques for water management. Conservation. The most important thing which we can do to save water is to conserve it, because India, we are so lucky that we are Indians. We get so much amount of water, but we don't have or we don't manage water properly. So we should conserve water. There are many ways to conserve water. Some of them are rainwater harvesting. As we know, rainwater harvesting means harvesting the water which we get from rainwater. Groundwater resources should be recharged. We should not use water. We should not waste water, or we should not let it waste. Now, water pollution is also a big issue in countries like India, which is developing nowadays, because we use plastics and we throw them in water, which makes the water also polluted. And India is developing nowadays, so industries are also emerging in a large rate. Due to which harmful chemicals are being sent to the rivers. And we know human beings are at the top of the nutrition table, due to which all the chemicals get accumulated at human beings, and we are the sufferers of what we are doing. So indirectly everything which are doing is recycling to us only. Biological magnification, the term we use for this is. Now, factories should treat water before letting it go into the rivers, and government should make some laws which about factories that this much amount of chemicals only you can leave in water, and for leaving that chemicals in water you should first treat them. Now outcomes of water management can be the following. कितना हो गया?
Okay.
10 minutes.
How many slides are in?
No, last one. This one.
Actually.
In 2 minutes only I can do.
Okay.
Outcomes of water management can be the following. For Ganga Action Plant, almost we are spending till 2017 4,008 crore rupees. So if this money can be used for other practices, then it's very beneficial, because we can open universities for making the student aware about environmental consequences, environmental problems and all. And when natural calamities happen, then many states, countries suffer. So on that time we can provide that money to others, and this money can be used to give the needy ones. Then achievements, due to all these programs and all, achievements are also there, like what rivers are clean. People are now realizing their prime duty as a proper citizen. Respected Narendra Modi sir has also launched a Jal Shakti Abhiyan, due to which we all are gathered here for seminar and we are able to collect knowledge. So these all are the achievements of what we have done. So I want to conclude that water is very vital resource and we should use it properly, because it is present in the earth in very little amount. Drinkable water is present in the earth in very little amount. So we should use water in such a way that its quantity should not get decreased and we should be able to live happily and long. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Very good, the resources and information you have collected. You do have very good, presentation skill, but your presentation should be